with over an 80% probability, you're going to get to live a lot longer and a lot younger. If the 90-year-old of tomorrow is really the 40-year-old of today, they're not going to act like 90. They're going to act like 40. And that means that our whole concept of aging is going to change. Just think about where we've gone in heart health. In the 1950s, we had a rice diet is the only way we treated high blood pressure. And we've now decreased strokes and heart attacks substantially. Statins have now come in, and plant-based diets, all of which change the risk of heart disease so substantially that we now think of it as something that we could really end. All of that is going to be possible in the next decade or so. You can get to be able to be in the same shape you are now 10 years from now, so that you'll enjoy all this progress that science is going to have. My one tip to age less is start early to be the genetic engineer you can be. So the most important thing is to change your attitude, to understand you control how well and how long you live. Second piece of advice is to add speed to both your workouts, that's intensity, and your brain training. Speed of processing is the most important. The third is to only eat food that's a relationship. You wouldn't marry someone who is trying to kill you. You shouldn't eat food that's trying to kill you. Next, you have to have a team. This isn't you alone. It's your physician, it's your financial advisor, your buddies. So choose your team for trust, honesty, and be willing to tell you when you've gone wrong. The last point, manage stress and to build your posse and your purpose, because those are really what keep you young.
Do I want to live to 130? Probably not, but I think the real soundbite here is our ideas about that change as we age. So talking about death and dying should be considered a developmental milestone almost.
I want to be 130 and have that be an average if our society has figured out how to handle that, and that we wouldn't be a burden at 130 for all the systems at place.
Yeah, no, I'm sort of along that line too. I'd be happy to live to 130, so long as it would be enjoyable, and that can mean a lot of different things. It doesn't have to be fun, right? I'm not saying it's got to be fun and happy. It just needs to be doable, I think, really is what I mean.
What people will say in a great deal of surprise, this isn't what I thought 50 would be like. This isn't what I thought 65 would be like, and overwhelmingly they're saying it's better. So remember that as you're aging, is that regardless of physical or mental or social challenges, there's a certain amount of choice in how you think you're feeling.
I think some of it is a systemic problem that we need to shift looking at aging as this horrible negative thing and see it as something that we're dreading. We need to look at the way we talk about it. I'm
a huge Sex and the City fan. They did this reboot, and now the women are around like mid-50s. They're like 55, something like that, and 20 years supposedly have passed. It's the most annoying thing ever to me from this show that I love and the characters I love, because they make these women seem like they're like 75. They got back problems and hip problems, and one lady's husband can't even hear. I'm like, dude, that's my 75-year-old patient. It's not my 55-year-old. My point being is what we get from other people about what is supposed to be. Do you know what I mean? Often or can be a hindrance.
The longer we're here, the more opportunity we have to connect, to learn, to be a lifelong learner, and to grow and to contribute and leave legacy in the world or to our community. It also means that the more you know yourself, the better able you are to make decisions that align with your purpose and who you are as a person. For me, I always use the word agency, and I think that is the gift in aging, is honing the skill of agency in your life and living life on your own terms.
My health advice to my younger self: create good eating and activity habits now. Make them non-negotiables that become as big a part of your life as just brushing your teeth.
Focus on what I call the trifecta of health and wellness. This means locking down your food behaviors, your fitness routine, and your sleeping.
Do you remember what you thought old was when you were a kid, like the age specifically?
When I was a kid, I thought my parents were old, and they were in their 30s. And right now, I'm almost 79 years old. And I don't feel like that's, right now, I don't feel like that is that old.
What do you think old is?
I think old now is like your age, like somewhere near 70 to 80. I think that older people, they just, they can feel more like empathy, and so they're sort of like wiser than younger people. Could you give me some advice for like the best way to get old?
2 things that are really important. Get lots of sleep. I'm not kidding. Lots and lots and lots of sleep, because it will refresh your body and it will help you age better. And exercise as much as you can. Do physical things to keep your body in shape. Walk or play a sport or anything just to keep your body moving and going.
Read, learn, don't ever stop learning and reading and trying to get interested in things that you want to learn. Learn new things, keep up with what's going on. Just keep your mind and your body moving.
And one other very important thing, friends. It's really important to have friends that you can have fun with and that you can do social things with and that you enjoy, because that having that kind of interaction with people really makes getting older easier.